Hello everybody and welcome to a tutorial on how to get old DOS games running on modern Windows using Dosbox, which is a DOS emulator. Now if you're new to emulation, basically an emulator is a piece of software that allows you to run software from other systems on without actually needing the other system. So if you ever played like an NES emulator, like if you just Google like NES, like FCEU. CU Ultra. Yeah, well, I spelled it wrong. But anyway, which is an NES emulator. It allows you to play NES games on Windows and Mac and things like that. Or if you ever played even on like modern consoles like Xbox One and PS4 and the Wii U, they use emulation to run a lot of old games. So anyway, so basically DOSBox allows us to run old DOS software on modern Windows operating systems like Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows XP, Windows Vista, all that kind of stuff. So now, why would you want to run old DOS software? It's mostly games. Why would you want to run mostly old DOS games on modern Windows? Well, since retro gaming has seen a resurgence lately, and sites like GOG.com and Steam have added old DOS games to their libraries. And this is how they do it. When you buy a game from when you buy a game from like GOG.com, say like Duke Nukem 1 and 2, when you double click the executable, it runs in DOSBox, but it does it in a way that you don't really know it's DOSBox. But anyway, so today I'm going to show you how to get up and running with DOSBox. If you have like old software from that time, you might be able to you can most likely run it. Like if you look at the information. Well, this is just the description, but if you look at the status, this is like how much progress is done on like emulation about DOS. But what we're interested in here is the compatibility chart. So you can check like a bunch of games here, like if you ever played one of these, or if you want to play them for the first time, you can see if it's supported. Like I know like a lot of since buying this games on eBay now, like if you buy like DOS games on eBay, or if you find them at like a thrift store or something, there's really no way to run them on modern Windows. Like if you're wondering if what else can we get here? Search CMD. Like if you're wondering if you're going on this, I mean this is a command prompt. It's not really DOS. It's like DOS-like, but it can't really be used to run old DOS games. You could try it, but Windows will give you an error saying, "Oh, well, it's too old." Blah blah blah. Contact software publisher and whatever. So yeah, so you can look at as you can see, most of these games are support 100%. There's only some games that, I've really run into games so far that I haven't been able to run yet. Though I'm sure they exist. Like there's some obscure DOS game that it won't run at all in DOSBox, but you get the idea. So okay, so we're gonna go into the downloads here for a second. Downloads. There you go. Click on downloads. By the way, the website is www.dosbox.com. I'll put a link later, whatever. So Windows. I believe they have both Windows 32-bit and 64-bit. I'm not really sure though, but for now we'll just go for the 32-bit. Yeah, we'll go for the 32-bit. Whatever. We're gonna wait for it to download. It's not a big piece of software. Don't worry about it. If you have like a slow internet connection, it's like on a couple of megs. So whatever. We're just gonna wait. Yeah, it's 1.38 megs. Okay, we're just gonna run it. I don't feel like setting it through my downloads folder. Yeah, whatever. We'll use UAC. Yeah, run it. So yeah, so basically, in case you're wondering, it's distributed under the GNU GPL, the General Public License. So it's basically like an open source software. So I mean, if you want to get into the guts of DOSBox, you can very easily. You can download the source code. So yeah, so we'll install a desktop shortcut too. Yeah, and your program files default folder. Don't worry, it's not really okay. So now we've got DOSBox installed. If I go to it now, you'll see that it drops an icon on my desktop. Okay, so once you run it, we'll just wait a couple seconds. Okay, so this is DOSBox basically. You'll see a bunch of stuff here in the blue box. Don't worry about that just now. You'll see for now we're not going to worry about that. But before to run DOSBox, we need some games. So I found since I'm talking about Duke Nukem, I may as well. So on the 3D Realms. What is it? On the 3D Realms, actually, on the 3D Realms, Yeah, sorry, FTP. Like, you can get the old shareware episodes of most of their games. If in a nutshell, shareware is like a game demo. Like, well, the way it works is that you would download the shareware from like a bulletin board system back in the day, which is the precursor to the internet. Like, you install it. If you like the game, you would like have to call them. They would give you a number to call, and if you spend like $30 or something, they would send you send money like, and they would give you the full game. But they're still good to test. Every time I install Dosbox or something, I'll download one of these shareware. Well, it doesn't really matter, and see if they work. Anyway, so we're gonna download Duke 1. Save as. We're gonna save it to our. We're gonna save it to our desktop. Yeah. Okay. So it's on our desktop now. We're just gonna extract it right away to the extract all. Alright, so we're just going to extract it. As you can see here, there's like an install application. If I try to install it, it might work, but it's very yeah, see, it'll sort of work, but actually, it might work, but anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about how to install Dosbox. You may be lucky if the command prompt can install it for some, but for most games it won't do it. So we're gonna, okay, so now here's the principle behind DOSBox. Basically, what we need to do is, like, right now it's set in Z, which is a virtual drive. We need to use the mount command to mount a folder where we're going to store all our DOS games in. So you can make anywhere on your computer. I'll make it on my desktop for now. I'll call it DOS_games. And if you're wondering why you need to like do the mounting stuff, it's because basically like old DOS like didn't have a desktop, right? It was just a bunch of like, there was just a C drive and that was it. So that's what you would have to like put all your games on your C drive and whatever. So that's what basically we're trying to emulate that right now. That's in a nutshell. Okay, so we moved it. So now we have this. So to mount in DOSBox, here's what we do. Oh yeah, actually, sorry, I forgot one thing. Always right-click how it appears on your path, on your Windows path. So see, mine is C users, and that's my name and whatever desktop. So we'll keep that in mind. So as you can see, we'll minimize. Don't worry about this status window here. You can, if you're ever into any bugs, you can check this window, what happened exactly. But that's like if that's using advanced stuff. Okay. So yeah, so I'm gonna so to mount a directory, you type in mount C because we're mounting it as a C drive. So okay, mount space C, and then now the path. So C users, your name, what? Oh, sorry. Type it exactly as it appears, and then so my folder is called DOS_games. So now it says drive C is mounted. Now we have to change to that directory. So we'll type in C semicolon, and now we're in the C drive. If you use the dir command, dir directory, basically, it's just short for directory. If you type in dir, it'll show you all the contents of what's in your folder. So I'm gonna go to my one Duke folder. So CD space one Duke. Type exactly as it appears. CD stands for change directory. So now we'll do another dir, and there we go. Most of the time you'll see like an installed executable. Always like run that first, unless the game unless you have instructions or whatever the game tells you otherwise. It's usually install.exe. So we're gonna type in install. Just you don't have to type in the .exe, and it doesn't have to be in capital letters either. So whatever. So it'll say here's the enter to continue. Don't worry about hard drive space at this point is irrelevant because with terabytes, computers now have terabytes of storage. So this is like, it's less than a cell phone picture basically. So yeah, so C Duke, it thinks it's the C drive when we've actually mounted another folder as the C drive. So yeah, whatever. If it freezes, don't worry about it. Just wait. Okay, so thanks for installing. See, now it tells us I'm running the game. It says run dn1.exe. By default, this is C Duke. Then, special note. Oh, blah. Okay, so then whatever. You can just, okay, so now it drops us to install, and when installed, it dropped us to it brought us to the C, the Duke folder. So we type in dir, and it's set to run dn1. You see a bunch of files here, and there you go. And there's Duke Nukem, the original. Yeah, you notice that there's no sound. Some games don't have sound, especially. Alt Enter is to make it full screen. Hope this works. Yeah, it didn't stretch at all. It doesn't really matter. Start a new game. So whatever, you know. See, so we're playing an old DOS game. So you know, that's pretty cool. So yeah, all right. Quit the DOS. Yes. Yeah, then yeah. Okay. So to quit Dosbox, you can just type in, I think, exit. There you go. Okay, so that's basically how to install. So that's basically a primer of how to install Dosbox. If I do another tutorial in the future, I'll do how to mount a CD drive and a diskette drive, so you can, like, if you have games lying around in your house, you can use Dosbox to mount them. Okay, so that concludes this tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.